Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Hi guys, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here doing another 8-4 Born of the Gods draft. Just gonna quick reminder once again, check out the Mortar Pod series that's going on this week. Check out the Seems Good Magic card giveaway. And also if you're interested, check out this link to a web series I did where I'm talking about the board game that I'm working on creating. So if you're interested in that, I'll have these links posted for you to click on so it's convenient for you. Okay, onto the pack. We've got Searing Blood. It is removal. I think we could probably pretty easily first pick that. Spirit of the Labyrinth is very good, as is Crone Skyguard. Both of those guys are good. I'm assuming the Skyguard is better in Limited, because Flight and Growing are good things. But I think Searing Blood, I'm on board with that. Kill something plus ping their face for 3 feels like a fair exchange to me. Alright, so we'll start with the Searing Blood and follow up pick. Let's see, we've got Rise to the Challenge, Nyxborn Triton, Nyxborn Wolf, Second Asphyxiate, Sudden Storm, which the one time I played it I really liked it. That's about it. I like Rise to the Challenge a lot. That's a totally legit trick. I like Bestow guys a lot too though, but would I prefer to branch into blue or prefer to branch into green? That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, these cards are pretty similar. I guess actually Nyxborn Triton I like more. I would say +2/+3 is better than +3/+1. So it's either Rise to the Challenge or Nyxborn Triton, and I guess I'm okay with Nyxborn Triton. Could also just take the Asphyxiate, but I think Bestow's actually better. So let's go with the Triton on this second pick. Keeping ourselves a wee bit more open to other things. Don't have to dive into any one strategy yet. Alright, well, a Crone Phalanx is absolutely insane. Hill Giant with Vigilance, already good. Then you give it, like, reward you for having a lot of mana on top of it. I really like this card a lot. It's I would have to say it's far and away the best card in this pack. I guess Retraction Helix is also quite good since it triggers Heroic as well as bounces a threat. I really do like the Crone Phalanx a lot though. But that being said, I guess we can take the Helix. Take a bounce spell. Triggers Heroic. Stops some nasty shenanigans. Could be red's getting cut. We don't know yet. This pack's not super deep with red, just Kragma Butcher. But let's go ahead and take the Retraction Helix pretty happily. Slam that, see how that goes. Alright, Kraken of the Straits. I mean, it's cool. It's a little bit expensive. I think, if anything, we're probably just taking the second Nyxborn Triton. Wait, what does this crazy guy do? 6 mana, 4/4. Sack X other creatures. Return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or there's so much text on them I can't even read it. Is that what you're saying? Oh, wait. Wait, what? Your deck becomes your library. Oh, they're explaining library. They're not even explaining the... Well, I guess we'll never know what this card does. I guess we're going to take the Nyxborn Triton. And be okay with that. Crone Skyguard still going is a good sign, I guess. Could be want to start dipping into white. Another Asphyxiate. 5th pick. Sphinx's Disciple as well. Stratus Walk, which is good. I mean, could just take the Asphyxiate. It is, in fact, removal. We could do some sort of weird bluish-blackish thing. But then I feel really weird about passing 2 Asphyxiates as well as that weirdo Mythic. what else do I really have in here? I mean, Stratus Walk is definitely playable. Give Evasion plus draw a card plus trigger Heroic. Do you need more than that? Pretty sure red's getting cut. So, best card in this pack is probably Asphyxiate. Could just be early enough where I can take that, but like I said, I passed all that black. Let's go with the Disciple. This card is, I mean, I didn't talk about it too much, but I mean, that is a good Inspired ability. You only get one pack for Inspired too, so kind of makes sense. Alright, we could start dipping into white. I think it could be getting to that point. It's really not that much else in here. Could take the Cyclops of One-Eyed Pass. It's good to bestow on. Keeps us in red to play Searing Blood, but it doesn't look like the other people at the table want us to do that. I mean, Pegasus is definitely playable. I think it's hard to argue that that card's not playable for being only 1 mana. I mean, if you have a low creature count deck like we currently do, it's not as good, but I think we'll take it anyway. Wheel of the Fates, or Whims of the Fates. That card's kind of funny. Another Dreamfinder. Nobody likes this card. I believe I underestimated it. Or overestimated it, excuse me. We can take a Rollicker here, I guess. I mean, it's a fairly late Rollicker. There's nothing wrong with this card. It's a Mons Goblin Raiders, or trigger Heroic and make your guy huge. So I wish I had slammed some either black or white now, in retrospect. But I can happily slam Heroic for now. Interesting. So we can keep on the red-blue path, or we can start moving into red-white, or blue-white. But I think I'm okay with taking Fearsome Temper. Card is fine. I like the Skirmisher more, but I don't think I'm going to be angry about having a Fearsome Temper. It's a pretty strong card. I'm going to take the Temper. Okay, now I guess we can take the Reveler. Or actually, let's take the second Retraction Helix. I like that a bit more. This is the only pack we get to see it. And I'm sure it can be very good. So I guess we're on the hunt for some finishers. Table to Rise of the Challenge. Very intriguing. This card is very good. So I'm surprised to see that. Here, just in case I end up white, take that. Same thing with this. Same argument. This card can be annoying to play against, so I'll cut it. Culling Mark. I'm going to allow my opponents to play that. I don't really like that card. I think it can do something, but I feel like it's narrow enough where most of the time I would still be happy with my opponents playing that card. Alright, so we're off to a really weird path to start off. I'd like to be red-blue. That's sort of what I mostly have pieced together here so far. But if I go red-blue, I'm going to need some better finishers. I'm going to need some more creatures. I'd really like to get some heroic stuff. I'd like to get some Wave Crash Tritons. That'd be great with the Helixes. I'd like to get some Arena Athletes or something. And then we open Fabled Hero. Well, it's not too late, and we have enough tools to move into blue-white, so I think I'm good with taking that. Otherwise, Crackling Triton is in fact a card that's good in here. If we were to stay on the blue-red path. But I would say Fabled Hero is an incredibly strong card, especially with Mortal's Ardor, Double Retraction Helix, Nyxborn Tritons, and such. And I think we're just at a place where it's okay to switch to. Presumably. We'll find out, I guess. So, am I going to do that? I think so. I'm just making sure I'm not going to have a problem with that. Yeah, let's take the hero. That's a strong card. I think it's impossible to deny that. Okay, so good cards in here. Prescient Chimera is an excellent finisher. There's also Curse of the Swine, which I have played and been happy with. I would say Curse of the Swine gets 2 to 3 times stronger when you have double Nyxborn Triton or Fabled Hero. Like, just my 3 drops alone can block everything I'm giving them with the Curse of the Swine. So I kind of like that, but I do like the Prescient Chimera. We're a little bit short on creatures. I also like the Divine Verdict if we are indeed switching directly into blue-white, which I think we are. I guess the real question is, what's better, removal, Curse of the Swine, or Divine Verdict? I would actually think Divine Verdict's probably better. That being said, do I just want the Prescient Chimera because it's a good finisher? It's a good, solid striker. I am short on creatures. Keep in mind, I'm probably not playing the red, and I'd prefer to not play the Great Heart, so I think we are in fact short on creatures here. And now we're getting some good red, so that's a little bit awkward, but I think we can safely take Battle-Wise Valor here. This deck's getting ugly. We're gonna need some real cheap creatures here soon. Make this look a little bit prettier. Well, I guess there's a cheap creature for you. Snarecaster, which really is not what this deck wants to do at all. I guess we can take the Coastline Chimera. It's a better blocker. We're going to be a little bit slow, but this card actually blocks fairly well, and we have the added advantage of actually being able to use its ability. Alright, Griptide's very strong. Lagana Band Elder is another threat. Let's cut red now. Just let me take a gander at what we're dealing with here. Alright, Loyal Pegasus suddenly got terrible in this deck. Currently. Great Heart looks like I'm going to have to play it, which I don't like. Could just take the Griptide, but then we're getting into control-ish territory. I mean, Griptide is absolutely better than Lagana Band Elder. Alright, it might be early enough. Like, if I get enough removal, spot removal, stuff like Retraction Helixes and the Griptide, I might be able to hold off to the point where I can get some threats down. But let's just load up on really good removal like Griptide for now. Alright, here's a good one. So we're going to slam the Omen Speaker. That's going to help us find... It's going to help us block and find better threats. I like it more than Lagana Band Elder. Alright, we can take the second Coastline Chimera. That's probably fine. These guys are great blockers, so no problems there. Here we go. Horizon Scholar's a great finisher. I like it more than the Fate Foretold in this deck especially, so okay. That's a good finisher. I'm happy with that. Mnemonic Wall currently gets back Mortal's Ardor, Double Retraction Helix, Battle-Wise Valor, Griptide. It's good enough for me. I think that's better than the Crackling Triton, probably. Let's take the Guardians just in case we need to play it for some reason. And, wow, Freka's Minder on the wheel, huh? Are we going to play Lost in the Labyrinth? Probably not, but guess we can cut blue. None of these really matter. Guess we've been cutting red a little bit. So, still kind of an awkward deck. Last time I played blue-white, it did not pan out so well, but this deck has a completely different strategy in mind. So, I'm really just looking for... God, I wish this card was good in our deck. I guess it's a Horned Turtle. A white Horned Turtle. So, this deck's looking like it needs some help. We really... I mean, it's not terrible. I'm going to go out... First and foremost, this deck is not terrible yet. It really is dependent on this third pack here. If we can find some nice in-game threats, this deck certainly needs some upgrades like Great Heart and Scholar and Guardians even. I'd like to be able to kick out, open a red rare. Not so good. And then there's nothing on color for us that's relevant? Well, geez. That didn't pan out like I was hoping. We could take the Pegasus. It's a flyer, makes this guy fly, and that's it. Not much else beyond that. It is a flyer though, so I guess we could take it. I mean, there's literally nothing else for us here, and considering I have 0 fixing, branching into green for Staunch Hearted Warrior, or branching into red for Labyrinth Champ and the other stuff we have, seems a bit on the lackluster side. Let's take the Pegasus, hope we find some humans here. Okay. Here we go. We've got Wave Crash Triton now. I think we definitely want that card. We already have the tools to make it good. So, alright, let's do that. I want the Ordeal. I want the Griptide. That's just not in the cards with this draft. It's priority 1 that we get this Wave Crash Triton and get an actual good heroic blocker. Maybe we wheel something good out of there if we're lucky. Let's see. Alright, well, Last Breath. Last Breath's actually something this deck could use. We don't have a lot of early games, so I could see that being good. I would like at least one more thing to win the game with. Just Horizon Scholar and Prescient Chimera is not really doing it for me. I guess Fabled Hero is kind of a kill con too. Alright, let's take the Last Breath. Alright. Well, Mnemonic Wall, Dose, I mean, we're almost always going to get value off of it, but it is expensive. Burnished Heart, which is fine, but I guess it could help us play red, which this deck might actually need. I mean, we don't want either of these guys in there. Stephenson Battle Priest is a heroic creature that blocks. I mean, we could play the Burnished Heart. I just feel like it's a bit lacking. It's slow. That's my big issue with it. We really don't have that much red to splash. You can't splash Searing Blood effectively. We have the buff and we have the Rollicker. So I guess I could just take the Battle Priest because it's a good cheap blocker and hope to wield a Mnemonic Wall, maybe, for lucky. Just plenty of good red picks in here now. I don't think we want the second Battle Priest. I'd rather diversify and get the Philosopher, who trades with more stuff. I mean, I do like heroic, but just getting the 2/2 might be better. I mean, there's an argument for Hippocamp since it works well with Disciple, but not sure if it's necessary. I prefer to not play this guy either. Let's take the Philosopher. Believe it or not, that extra power, even losing the defense and the heroic, that extra power can be really important. Alright, we can take a second Last Breath. We can also take a Ray of Dissolution. We can take a Crackling Triton. I'm okay with a second Last Breath. I mean, currently don't have any enchantment removal, so I could also take the Ray of Dissolution to diversify more. I mean, it's 100% it's main deckable. There's plenty of... We could just play this. We're short on removal. I do like Last Breath, but there's times where it's terrible. So it might just make more sense for us to take the Ray. Diversify our removal. Okay, we can take a Triton or we can take a Bronze Sable. This is definitely more of a Triton deck. Warden's fine and all. It's just we got enough stuff going on there. Not much else. Third Coastline Chimera. Seems a bit unnecessary. I mean, they're okay. They're just not very efficient beaters. Nor is Stephenson Griffin, really. But I mean, I already have to make a cut. Like I said, I really like Loyal Pegasus less and less in this deck by the second. Am I probably just taking a Chimera, a third one? Probably. And then playing it over, I don't know, maybe a 2-drop or something, like a Pegasus. I guess Pegasus got better because we have the Philosopher. All these good green cards in here. I think Feral Invocation's probably the most potentially annoying against us. Although we can bounce that, so maybe that's wrong, but I don't like that that card doubles as a combat trick. Nemesis Immortals Tables makes absolutely zero sense. We're not gonna take Decorated Griffin. I don't think we're playing it. Just no one's in green. Okay. I guess green was open. Maybe I should have been more observant to that earlier, because Savage Surge and Nemesis Immortals are very strong cards. Most of my guys already evade, but can you imagine a Fabled Hero, Fleet Feather Sandals? Alright, Yoke Docks for sideboard, just in case we play against the nastiest, quickest deck you've ever seen. Alright, well, good news, we got a deck. Bad news, it's not the best deck I've ever played. We do have some actual answers in here, though, and we have a good enough creature count where I think things will be okay. We're not playing this. So this is a 23-card deck right here, and it's playable. It is playable. Is it great? No. Can it win? Yes. It's not the strategy I typically do, which also kind of bugs me about it. But, I mean, we at least can interact with their board, which is good. Never played so many Coastline Chimeras before in my life. So this is 23, 16 creatures. Let's take a look at our spells. Alright, and Mnemonic Wall can get us back all of these. That's cool. Could play the Loyal Pegasus just because we actually ended up with enough creatures to support Loyal Pegasus. It's just, it's not what I want to do, really. I really don't feel like we're a beatdown deck in any way, shape, or form. We're much more of a ride a Fabled Hero, Horizon Scholar, Prussian Chimera to victory. Or somehow ping them to death with Sphinx's Disciples and Coastline Chimeras. I guess we have Tritons too to make stuff big. Wavecrash Triton buys us time. Setessan Battle Priest ideally does the same. Okay, this deck's okay. This deck is alright. It's not a tempo deck. It's much more of a control-ish build, which I don't like in this format. But considering how I felt this deck was going, Pack 2, we ended up in a place where I feel okay. I feel okay about this. Let's go 10-7 instead. I like that more. We do have double blue. We also have double white, which comes earlier, but we have significantly more blue in the deck than white, so I think 10-7 is appropriate. I feel like if I go 9-8, I'm just going to get too much white, so I do think 10-7 is the appropriate number. Anything else really to talk about? Not much. Couple sideboard options, not too terribly much. But we're already a deck that's, I don't feel like, I can't think of any match where we're really going to shine. I guess we're going to shine if they have 0 flyers and they're slow. So I would have liked a little more hard removal, but this is tolerable. Like I said, the Retraction Helix is potentially good. They're good with Sphinx's Disciple. They're good with Fabled Hero. Fine with Battle Priest. Good with Wavecrash Triton. So we do have good targets for our spells. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you round 1. Wish me luck. Actually, screw that. I changed my mind. Let's get rid of the Triton. Let's put in the Pegasus. Now, I said this wasn't a Pegasus tech, which is true, but we have triple Coastline Chimera, Sphinx's Disciple, Prussian Chimera, and Horizon Scholar. I feel like the only way we're really win, and Cavalry Pegasus. So the only way we're really winning is via the skies. So therefore, Pegasus is actually playable with all of our flight guys. But yes, it's a little bit of an awkward build, but it'll work. All right, I'll see you round 1.